Hey, today we're going to discuss the Liberty Day reward and how technically we didn't win the Mage Order. I'll get more into that soon. We'll discuss an incredible rifle buff and some things you probably don't know about. Also, I'll discuss how Xbox divers have been censored. Not only that, there's so much more to discuss. If you've enjoyed my content before, consider giving this video a thumbs up right away and tapping the hype button. With that said, let's jump right in. Let's start the video off today by going over the previous Mage Order, which of course was the Liberty Day MO. What's interesting about it all is that we basically failed it. However, we also won. See, the thing is, we had about an hour left to complete the Mage Order, but in the end, the developers decided to give us a free win. I'll explain more on that in just a minute. If we take a look at the Mage Order success message that High Command wrote, they said, "Liberty Day has been a triumphant success. Helldivers everywhere have demonstrated peerless marksmanship with a traditional R2124 constitution, celebrating Liberty Day with inspirational patriot fervor, and spreading managed democracy's joyous message throughout the galaxy. In addition, enemies slain by bayonet have now been accounted for and added to the count total. So as promised, the official Liberty Day commemorative cape will soon be distributed to all active Helldivers." So you may have noticed in the first paragraph that High Command talked about how the bayonet eliminations were added to the total count. However, this isn't true because we know that Arrowhead's community manager Baskoneer spoke on the situation yesterday. I took this screenshot last night in which a Helldiver basically asked if the rumors are true that bayonet eliminations do not count towards the Major Order. And Baskoneer confirmed right here that it doesn't count. The reason why is that their systems can only track one thing, meaning they can't track bayonet and bolt eliminations at the same time. It's kind of funny because they actually have confirmed this before in the past. If you recall, there was a Major Order where we had to eliminate a certain amount of chargers. At the time, players were confused and wanted to know if the other charger variants count. And they confirmed at the time that no, they don't count. And the reason why was that they can only track one thing, so the same situation. In the end, we technically didn't win this Mage Order, but we did. Of course, you can tell by the success message. Anyway, the new cape is cool. However, this might not be a favorable opinion or something some of you may not like, but I'm interested to hear your opinions. But I'm really tired of seeing cape rewards. I know it's easy for the developers to create a design for capes rather than creating a new piece of armor or perhaps a new weapon. I personally think the fireworks and the new Mage Order that required us to use the Constitution were really cool because it was a different type of Mage Order, and again, the fireworks were a nice touch. Other than that, the reward was lackluster in my opinion. At the same time, I completely understand that the developers were more focused on patching bugs and improving performance than creating a new piece of armor or a weapon, right? Anyways, I'd like to know from you Helldivers, what are your opinions about the recent Liberty Day Mage Order? Did you enjoy it? Did you like the reward in the end? Just let me know what you thought about the whole MO in the comments. Alright, so before we continue on with the next part of the video, I just want to bring this up because a Helldiver over on the Helldivers subreddit page brought up a great point. There's a screenshot here from Helldivers 1, and here's a list of rewards that players at the time received, such as the Constitution, a Liberty Cape, a Community Cape, a Developer Cape, and then there was also in 2017 where these Helldivers received a Heavy Strafing Run, a Launcher Turret, a Thunderer Smoke Round, I have no idea what that's about, and then there's also the Machine Gun, which is essentially like a Gatling gun, right? And then you got the planet difficulties and so on. So there's a lot of cool stuff here for Liberty Day. However, this Liberty Day, all we got was a cape. But okay, that's just, it's alright I guess. But hopefully next year there will be better rewards. Okay, moving along, we're going to briefly go over the Plas 39 Accelerator Rifle buff. It's an incredible weapon to use now because you can easily one-tap Overseers if you aim at their domes and pull the trigger, as you can see. But wait, it gets better. You can actually 3-tap a flesh mob with just this rifle, so you no longer have to use a Stalwart or a Wasp if you really don't want to. However, pairing one of these stratagems with the Plas 39 wouldn't be a bad idea. Also, for you Xbox divers out there, you're probably wondering how do you get this rifle right here? Well, unfortunately, Arrowhead hasn't figured out a way to hand out this particular rifle as well as the rest of the Killzone collab items. They're still trying to figure out a way to hand them out. Nevertheless, the next enemy is a Harvester. You can use the Plas 39 to take down one Harvester easily by just targeting the leg joint. It's a 4-tap right here. If you're curious as to why it took 2 shots instead of 4, the reason why is that I had already previously fired at the joints before this clip. And I just wanted to shorten this clip up so you can see the end result. Lastly, for the squids, we can bring down a Stingray by firing only 2 shots. Now, not only is the Plas 39 rifle incredible to use on the Illuminate, it's also amazing on automatons as well. You can bring down a gunship with just 2 burst shots towards the engine, as you'll see right here in this video clip. It's great for taking down basic enemies like Devastators, not to mention, speaking of, basic enemies, you can 1 burst shot a Scout Strider or a Shield Scout Strider too by just targeting the pelvis area right here. I was able to take one down from a distance, then target one close up. Overall, I highly suggest using a secondary like the Redeemer or any secondary of your choice just in case you run out of ammo, because this rifle is amazing and you only have so many mags. But yeah, I think this is an incredible rifle. I'd like to know your thoughts on this. Do you have it? Do you not have it? Do you want it? Let me know what you think. On a different note, I want to bring up something interesting because when I was testing out the Plas 39 accelerator on other enemy types, I noticed something strange, very peculiar. So you can see right here that there's this texture here, and then if we go underneath, or actually you can just tell right away that there's nothing there. Like the whole, I don't know, surface is all morphed up, or just, I don't know, it's not implemented right. You can go underneath the textures, you can see everything. It's a very strange situation. If you have experience with this, I'd also like to know your thoughts on it and how common is this. Moving onwards, we're going to talk about some censoring going on. If you're on Xbox, then you probably know about this already. There's a Helldiver right here that posted this Reddit post and said, hey, Xbox players are getting censored and, they can't type down certain words because asterisks pop up. And this is all going down in the chat within Helldivers 2. If you don't know, this right here has been an issue for about 2 months or so since, Helldivers 2 arrived on Xbox. And we know at the time that Baskinator, Arrowhead's community manager, said that, yeah, it isn't under their control. Like, they have no control over the situation, but they have passed the issue on to their appropriate parties. And this was 2 months ago, and we still haven't seen anything about it. If you're on Xbox and you're wondering about the situation, well, you're kind of screwed, I guess. You gotta wait, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, unfortunately, that's the situation. Hopefully, it'll get resolved soon. I think it's ridiculous to censor certain words. And if you're wondering about the specific words, like someone said that could was censored in a previous video. And then in this topic right here, this discussion I covered a few months ago, there were certain words like flamethrower, butt, and eyes were all censored. Weird stuff. On a different note, we're now going to discuss merch. If you're a big fan of Helldivers 2 and you want to purchase a 1-to-1 Helldiver helmet, then you might be interested in this post right here. Dark Horse Direct and Arrowhead have collaborated together for the last 5 months, I believe. Maybe it's been longer. They've collaborated together to bring some amazing merch, and this is one of the merch items you can actually buy in the future. It's a helmet, a big size helmet, not a small one that you would probably put on your dashboard or something. It's actually a big size helmet. It's not a way of saying it. Anyways, this right here is pretty cool. You can join the waitlist right now on Dark Horse Direct. And yeah, I think some of you might be interested in this. If you're not, then oh well. But yeah, I thought this was pretty cool and worth sharing with you all. Finally, we're going to go over an Easter egg, potentially, right? I have no idea if it's actually an Easter egg or perhaps the developers may have accidentally included this into the game. I'll be interested to hear your opinions. I've discussed this before, some of you may have seen it, but for Xbox divers, you're probably intrigued by this. And there's been a few discussions going around online, and there's a particular Helldiver right here that discovered this and wanted to know what was going on. And we can see right here in game, if you use a helmet, any helmet that kind of reflects stuff off of it, right? For example, this helmet right here. And we go up close to the right side of the Super Destroyer, we can see that there's an image on the helmet. And it's potentially the Super Earth president. Maybe it's someone else. We have no idea, but it's kind of hard to see. And this right here is so cool. And I know a lot of you Xbox divers have been curious about it. Maybe you just don't know about it. And there you go. Hopefully that intrigues you and you think it's pretty cool too. Lastly, for today's video, we've got the top comments. First from Chris Factor, that spoke on the 40 million eliminations with the Constitution is worth more than a cape in his opinion. And yeah, I agree. I think we should have at least earned maybe a stripper clip. Maybe we should have earned something different, like an armor, something, right? The second top comment is by Germwise Fearless. That said, you know, hey, I've been stabbing holes in the squids for nothing. Yes, unfortunately, you have, and good thing I brought that up with you all. The third and final top comment is right here, and this Helldiver wrote that they were hoping for the pre-order armor to be re-released like they were going to do, or like they said they were going to do. And I think, yeah, absolutely, man. Liberty Day would have been the perfect date. Unfortunately, that's not the case, but, you know, maybe soon we'll hear word about that. Anyways, I hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you found it informative or cool or whatever, consider tapping the thumbs up button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and tap the hype button. I appreciate your support, whether you're a subscriber, a member, or a lurker. I appreciate you stopping by, and if you are lurking, it's completely free to subscribe, and hope to see you on the channel, you know, in the comments and whatnot, and at the end. So yeah, thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.